Hey guys, what's up? This is Garrett and Amanda from the Field Fam.
And today we're going to be talking about something super important that a lot of people go through, which is transitioning from one child to two. So before we get started, if you go ahead and click that big red subscribe button down the bottom, that'd be awesome, and we'll get started. So I would say the first thing that is super important is just preparing your child for a baby. In our case, our son was just over 2 years old when our next son was born, but it might be kind of obvious to say, talk about the baby. But one thing that I think really helped my son really understand that there was a baby in my stomach, besides just showing him a sonogram picture, was looking up a photo of like a baby inside a pregnant stomach.
Showing him on Google. It was like a cartoon version.
Yeah, like a cartoon picture. But once I showed him that,
you could see the lights turned on.
It really clicked. And he's like, oh. So we're just constantly talking about the baby and how the baby's coming. There's a baby in my stomach. And that, I feel like, really helped him.
Yeah, and I'd also say like another thing that was really helpful was like we made his room cool. Like we were like, oh, Malachi, we're gonna make your room rocket, space theme, and he was all excited, and he got super like my room, and bought him a bedspread, and we bought him some like pictures for the wall, like rocket ships.
His room was really like eclectic before, just had become kind of like
room.
a dumping ground for like gifts and baby stuff and toys and just things
Amazon packages,
things
whatever.
we didn't want to look at. And also,
it's because he wasn't living in there. He was really kind of like
in our room.
Yeah, so that's
the other thing. Like if your toddler is still sleeping in your room a lot and you're worried about, just how you're gonna wake up from both your kids, just get them, a big kid bed. We got him a big boy bed, and that really helped because he felt like his room was his space.
Yep.
And now he's 2.5, and he's so attached to it. There's been times where we start getting him ready for bed in our room. He's like, I want my room. I want my room.
Yeah, he loves his room. It gives him a sense of like ownership. And that was the thing. Like we gave him a bedspread that was rocket themed, and it was all cool, and he loved it. We got him this like alien, stuffed animal thing. It was really cute, and it kind of matched the theme. And just we had a theme, and we made him a part of it. We helped him really help us by helping him make our bed, or like, doing the things that really made him feel like it was his own. So like when we were in there putting up the curtains, and I was in there putting up the curtains, I asked him to help me and hand me tools and stuff. And so he really felt like a part of it. I think that was important.
Of transforming it.
And blackout curtains. If you're looking for things, you want blackout curtains, because the longer they sleep in the morning, the easier it is.
That one's a given.
I think, but people might not get that.
So the next thing might be kind of obvious, but just super important, is to just organize all the baby stuff. Don't just assume you're gonna be able to find it when the baby comes. Have everything organized, go through everything and see what you can reuse, and order your double stroller. We have a double Bob. It's amazing. I'll do another video on that, but I highly recommend it because you can steer that thing with one hand. So if your toddler or your kid decides they want to walk, they don't want to be in the stroller, you can still steer that thing with one hand. It's amazing. It's awesome. Kind of big though. So just like I have a Honda CRV and it does not fit in my trunk.
Yeah, we have to put it in my truck.
Yeah, so it's just something to think about.
And also make sure that the tires are properly inflated all the time, because if not, then it makes things really difficult. It's not an easy push if the obviously the tires aren't inflated properly. And I would say another one, basically Malachi and I had this little moment,
which is our firstborn.
Yeah, our firstborn. Sorry, he's our 2.5-year-old. This little moment, because we heard from someone else to like get him a gift from the baby to the toddler, the firstborn, and really establish that relationship before ever he's ever able to meet him. So we did is I packaged up a nice little gift for him, monster truck or something cute, like a little
screwdriver set.
Screwdriver set. Oh yeah, monster toy I got somewhere, and we put that together and we said, hey, we got a gift from Big Brother. When you wake up, we'll give it to you. And he got so excited, like he was really excited to like wake up the next morning. He's like, what, Big Brother, gift? gift from baby brother. And he like couldn't stop talking about it. He was super excited. And we also used that to help him go to bed. But anyways, he opened it and he was so thankful, and he was like, "Thank you, baby brother." Like he said,
we kept reinforcing
over and
like
over.
the positive experience, like over and over and over again.
And he said, "Remember that gift that baby brother got you? Go get it."
And we also had another gift from baby brother when we were in the hospital. So
yeah,
that
before we went to the hospital. Yeah.
No, when we were at the hospital, your mom gave
that she
it
made
to
him to open. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is another thing. Talk about the hospital, a lot in the leading, days up to the birth, which this is what we did. We would just keep saying, well, we're going to go to the hospital. When we go to the hospital, then we're going to have baby brother, and my stomach isn't going to be big anymore because he's going to be here with us, and he's never going to leave us, and he's going to be a part of our family.
And you guys are going to be best friends. And we also told him that he's going to be here with grandma, for a couple days, and we're not going to be here with him.
So he wasn't shocked.
And he knew what to expect. But then again, he's also pretty bright, so you might have to instill this a little bit more in your kids if they don't catch on as quickly. But like,
or if you're younger than he was.
Yeah, younger than he was.
A huge possibility too.
Yeah, exactly. Or just like there's different things you can do to make them catch on. And with us, like the things that we did were visual, and he caught on pretty quick.
Right. And the next thing is the most important. So following the birth, just try to, if you can, make sure you have help. That was the biggest thing. We are business owners, so he doesn't get paid paternity leave, but we saved and he was able to take like a month off, and so that's really helped. And we had some friends that took our son like 3 or 4 times in the first week that we gave birth. So it was super helpful. So because
shout out to you, you know who you are.
Yeah. We were so tired and exhausted, and just knowing that he was having fun and playing, it just took a huge burden off. And I think that's super important to do. And if you don't have help, I would say a big thing would be to like look into some extracurricular activities if you can afford it, or it's a good time to start preschool, or just anything that can keep them active and feeling like they're getting attention and their energy out, and because it not only helps them, but it helps us too.
No, definitely. I would say that's really important. And honestly, having that friendship or family come and take care of him, it really just takes the burden off, and it also gives him something fun because you're so tired, you have no energy, and all you want to do is just like lay around or sleep or like catch up on sleep, and he doesn't want to, or she doesn't want to. All the kid wants to do is have fun, like nothing ever changed, and obviously things have changed. So having that help is critical.
Right. And then I would say the next thing that we were super fortunate to have, I know that not everyone has this, but if you can, or if you can ask a family member or friend to set this up for you, it is key, and that is a meal train. My sister set up a meal train for us. So if you don't know what a meal train is, it's where you give someone your list of foods that you like, you don't like, and contacts the people you think that would be willing to bring a meal to you. And you can do just a drop-off option where they don't have to come in. That's what we did, because after you have a baby, you're just kind of a hot mess and you don't really want to see anyone. At least that's how I felt. And so we had a meal train, and I know it seems a little bit awkward. It can seem awkward, but you don't have to set it up. You have a friend or family set it up, so they're the ones asking other people to do it.
I think it's designed that way, for other people to do it for you. So if you have a friend, family, coworker,
anyone that's willing to help,
and then just sending it out, and then people are more willing to, I think, help out as well. And they ask the liaison questions and different things like that about your dietary.
If you can even have it for like the first week, that is super helpful. And if you can't,
put the link in the bio.
Yeah. As well, yeah. And if you can't do a meal train, then I highly recommend meal prepping. Just making a ton of food, putting it in the freezer, maybe breakfast burritos for a week, dinner for a week, just everything, for at least 7 days, because you just have to really adjust to
Grubhub,
not getting sleep. So
the last thing you want to think about is like, what are we going to eat? Like, you just want to have it ready to go.
And not everyone can afford to order takeout.
Yeah, seriously. We
all
can't.
The time.
Yeah.
We can't, because we actually live in an area that does not deliver food.
Yeah.
So I know that actually exists in the 21st century. It's
We don't live in the
mind-blowing.
Antarctica or in the middle of the ocean, but either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say that's really important. Another thing that's really important is something we didn't really utilize the first, child around, but the Ergo Carrier. And we'll put that link in the bio as well. Everything we talk about, we'll put in the bio, so you can check it out and different resources and stuff like that. We'll do a whole video dedicated to products and maybe a couple different videos dedicated to products. But the Ergo Carrier is so important that we couldn't not mention it. You can carry the kid around, she around with you while you're taking care of the toddler. And it's important because you have to keep up with the toddler.
Well, and most people have used it with their firstborn, but it's just you
We
and
didn't
your
personally.
first. I mean, we did a little bit, but like it's just you
Yeah,
and your
not so
baby,
much.
and so
It's easier.
you can set them down, or it's just easier.
Carry him around, but
Yeah, with
you're not having to use your hand to help the toddler get off something, or he's
or
going
you
to
can go
jump
to
to
the
his
park
death.
or whatever, and especially in the early days, your newborn is sleeping so much that it's just
May as well have Monty instead of.
it's a lifesaver. And if you haven't heard of the Ergo, you make sure you get your newborn
I have
insert.
it right here. It's super awesome. I'll just show you really quickly because it's literally right here. But
I mean, a lot of people know what baby carriers are,
yeah, this one's cool.
especially if you're having a second child. But
Yes, exactly. But this one's cool because they can front face or back face. Like
it's the Ergo 360. So a lot of times people will order the Ergo, the one that's cheaper, not realizing that their baby will not be able to turn around.
this is the insert infant, carrier. So like you can take this out after
Like 4 months or
it's
something.
4 months, something like that.
So, and it's good to not go cheap on the carrier because the cheap ones can cause
hip dysplasia.
which
Yeah.
you definitely don't want.
And the Ergo Carrier, you can actually like have it on your back, on your side, different things like that. It's really, really cool.
And then another one I think that's really big is just looking for like independent play activities for your toddler. So like a water table is a really good one, getting them on the hose or sensory bins. Just, get on Pinterest and check out a bunch of different things you can do that they can do to entertain themselves. Because maybe not everyone that's having a second baby is having, older child as a toddler, but ours was. And so, sometimes it's hard to do independent play, or you're so used to entertaining them when it was just you and him or her. So it was an adjustment to just trying to get him to not need us as much.
Yeah, there's a million activities that you could do, and obviously that is a whole video on its own. But
Chalk is a really good one if you have the place for it.
yeah, that's a whole video on its own, really. But there's an app. We'll put that link in the bio as well. It has all kinds of cool kid activities and things like that. I can't think of the name.
Kindu.
The Kindu, yeah, the Kindu app is a really good app. Has all kinds of stuff. They're updating it, putting new things on there all the time. This is not paid advertisement. We'll have them in the bio. But if they want to advertise the video, they can. But it's a cool one. We'll probably do a review on that.
It just gives you a good
well.
reminder sometimes too. Like the other day I looked at it and was like, do play pretend food. I'm like, oh yeah, like we can do pretend cooking and pretend kitchen, and we have a play kitchen. Why don't I get that back out or pretend animal doctor?
That was fun.
Oh,
He
we
loved
have
that
a stethoscope. Let's
toilet paper and like rub around their head
Yeah.
and like, oh, their arm's broken. Let's put a toilet paper sling.
an ear tool and the
An
mouth
ear tool,
tool
yeah.
and
He loves that.
which actually helped him when he had to go to the doctor because he was all excited.
Yeah, he was like, oh, ear tool.
Yeah.
Mouth tool. Like he wanted it. Like this is what we play. So it's like, if you're going to take them to the doctor, prepare them for something like that. It's important too. Or they have to get a shot or something like that. It's always good to like, prep them and do the animal doctor. I'm like, oh, we got to give the bear a shot, and then they're like,
so it's just good reminders of things and things you can do to engage with them, or maybe you're feeling guilty, like you're getting that mom guilt, and you're like, oh, I've had to give so much attention to the baby or nurse the baby, and you're so tired you can't think of things to entertain your toddler, do like one-on-one activities. So it's a good place to get
momming
this.
is hard, right? Momming is hard.
It is
Parenting
so
is
hard.
hard. It
It is
difficult.
so hard, especially
but it's so
when
rewarding.
you're sleep deprived.
Yeah.
When you have a newborn or young baby, you're not sleeping. You just you're not on your A game, and you have a short fuse, and you just can't think sometimes, and you need coffee to survive, and sometimes that's not enough.
That's so true. And yeah, whatever you're working and juggling all these other things as well. It can be difficult. So. Yeah, I'd say those are really important.
And I think the last one, like if you are nursing your baby, it's really good to just have things that you can do to entertain your toddler when you sit down. Like, so piles of books is a really good thing because, you know, they can get bored, or like when you know, play with me, you can't get up and you feel bad. So just toys, and you have everything right there. Like when I take my toddler in the bath and I have the baby, I bring the nursing pillow, I bring the bumbo seat, I bring a pile of books, so he's entertained, and you know, I can also take care of the toddler, so I'm able to do both things at once. So that was kind of a struggle to get down at first, because I would just bring the pillow and then not have anything for Zion, which is our baby, and
you just feel kind of guilty, like, I'm already sitting down. It's really difficult. So that's basically it. We can do another video on some other things. We have a lot of other cool ideas and things to help, like going to the construction side and taking them, you know, driving them, you know, through the neighborhood, and just things that kind of keep them entertained.
That are simple, that you can do while your baby is sleeping in the car.
Yeah, super great activity. So we'll do another video on that in the near future. We have a lot more helpful things, but to save on video length, we'll cut it here, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. We appreciate you guys for watching.
And congratulations on your baby.
Take care, guys. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Bye.